Guys, we have a special guest tonight. Every once in a while here at the Comedy Hour, somebody comes through. We want to get them a guest spot. Tonight's one of those nights. He is traveling with a couple of our Columbia, South Carolina comedians on their tour. So we decided to give him 5 minutes tonight. He's a very funny man. Give it up for Topher Riddle! Hey everybody! I don't have much time, so here we go. I made the mistake of going grocery shopping recently while I was really hungry, and I bought a party-sized bag of Cool Ranch Doritos. And even though I was the only person who attended that party was over pretty quick. The other night, I got so drunk that I ate chocolate chips out of another man's hand. And then about halfway through the handful, I got mad at him, and I was like, no, you're doing it wrong. You have to hold your hand flat like I'm a horse. I was at a sports bar the other day watching my favorite hockey team destroy another hockey team, and then I saw someone in the bar wearing the jersey of the opposing team, and I went up to him and I was like, "Ha! My team kicked your team's ass," which is a terrible thing to say to a 7-year-old. And I should know better because I work at the Children's Museum back in Columbia, South Carolina. In the gift shop, one time this little girl walks into the gift shop and she picks up a handful of pencils with our museum logo on them and puts them in her pocket while she was looking at me. And it's like, I didn't even report her because I was so impressed by the balls on this little girl. And she picks up a handful of pencils, puts them in her pocket, all while maintaining eye contact, as if to say, "Your move, douche." I was at work and I pushed the button for the elevator and it's really slow, so while I was waiting for it, I was just kind of absent-mindedly clapping my hands, just kind of doing this. And next to me in a stroller was a tiny girl, and she was looking up at me and she was clapping. And her mom looks down at her and goes, "Oh, are you clapping because he's clapping? I think she's clapping because you're clapping." And without thinking about it, the first thing that I blurted out was, "Well, sometimes the clap is contagious." Do you guys ever worry that do you ever worry that your Kegel muscles are too strong? I know that seems like it's out of nowhere, but I ask because I've been doing the exercises this whole time that I've been up here. And release. Any couples in the crowd? Hey, man, good for you. I am not part of a couple. I was hitting on a girl recently and she wasn't into it, which is crazy because you've seen me, I'm great. And I'm adorable. And ladies, if you like a guy with money, I have dozens of dollars in my bank account. But I lost her with my nerdy pickup line. Are those Harry Potter fans still in the crowd? Okay, cool. So this was the line. I walked up to her and I was like, "Hey, you know they call my bed platform 9 3/4 because that's where the magic happens." And that did not work. And then later my friend was like, "Why didn't you say Hogwarts? Like way more magic happens at Hogwarts than at platform 9 3/4. And I was like, "Well, Hogwarts sounds like something you want to avoid getting during sex." I was talking to a girl after a show and I asked her what her favorite band was, and she was like, "Oh, my favorite band is Arcade Fire." And I was like, "Oh, don't even mention Arcade Fire to me. That's how my parents died." And she was like, "What? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Your parents died in an arcade fire?" And I was like, "What? No, the band murdered my parents." But now it's nice because the place where we perform in Columbia is down the street from my house. So if I do meet a lady, it's a quick trip back to my place. But But I used to live way out in the middle of nowhere in the country, and sometimes I'd get a girl to come home with me, and we would start that long drive out in the middle of nowhere, and it was always fun to watch her face and try to pinpoint the exact moment where she starts to think, oh, I'm never going to see my friends and family again. And I'd see that look on her face and try to calm her down by saying, relax, I'm not going to murder you. Which I realize now is like one of the worst things that I can possibly say. Like, that's only slightly better than if I'd said, that's right, I'm going to murder you. Now, please be quiet while I listen to the Frozen soundtrack to mentally prepare myself for what I'm about to do. One time we were driving out there and the girl looks around and she goes, oh, I actually live out this way. And I wanted to be like, ha, nice try, but you're still getting murdered. That's it for me, you guys. Thanks so much.